Okay. As much as as much as all of my haters say I am Mr. America bad and Mr. America is involved in all of these affairs, and the timing of this lends itself so perfectly to America being involved in this affair as well. I'm looking at the fog and I'm looking at a helicopter that is flying through a mountainous region with this much fog, and I'm thinking probably this one might not be on the United States of America or Mossad, and seems a bit like like I said, it seems like a bit self-inflicted. News: Raisi, the Iranian president, was in a helicopter crash.
There has been some news from the site of the crashed helicopter. There was some communication between one of the crew and one of the passengers on board the helicopter, and the government has reported that communication.
Holy, look at this fog, bro! You're saying 100% CIA? This amount of fog? Maybe it's not, bro. If you were helicoptering with this level of fog, brother, if you are on a chopper with this lack of visibility, I don't even know, unless it's the CIA fog gun. The pilot not saying no is the CIA. Like, guys, as much as I love a good conspiracy, I'm not gonna make like any wild claims here as people investigate the details of this. However, if there is this level of fog and you're in a goddamn helicopter and you choose to fly the goddamn helicopter, what the fuck's happening here? What are you doing? I mean, it's akin to committing seppuku, okay? I mean, it's just crazy. The CIA has research on fog weaponry. Okay, the fact that they have research on it doesn't mean that they literally have a fog gun and also literally have deployed the fog gun, and also simultaneously the helicopter pilot still chose to fly during that fog. Y'all are crazy right now if you think that this is like I get why you assume because of the timing of it all. And if he was like in a car or something, because like Israel does have methods of assassinating Iranian people on Iranian soil. They've done it many, many times over. Okay. But the notion that like, I don't know, the timing of it is very suspicious, sure, but like I don't think this is I mean, it kind of looks a little bit like one of those while the timing of it is suspicious, it kind of feels like this was a self-brought, self-inflicted wound, okay?
Happened a couple of occasions, and they say the report from the team on the ground, that the crew member and the passenger on the ground who they were able to contact, was that the impact or the crash wasn't that severe.
Did you forget Putin killed his general last year or so? Yes, bro. Putin killed the fucking head of Wagner on a PJ by pretty sure shooting the fucking PJ. Okay? There is a definite difference between air travel, which is pretty fucking safe when you do it with a well, maybe not private jets as much, but like air travel in a plane, versus literally flying a helicopter in the fog. Already forgot his fucking name. Prigozhin, the head of Wagner, Prigozhin. Anyway.
But despite the passage of so much time, despite having had that level of communication, the advice that the government's giving to the people of Iran at the moment is to pray for the president and the foreign minister and the other senior dignitaries who were on that helicopter with him. So it does seem that because the mountains are rugged, they're remote, the terrain is hard to move through on foot, it's very muddy, it's hard to get vehicles in close. They've got mountain climbers in there, they've got paramedics on site, ambulances on site, the army is helping, the police are helping, the elite IRGC are also involved in this search and recovery mission at the moment. And the reason that the president was there in the first place, right up there in the very northwest of Iran.
Wagner's doing their PR tour right now. There's a bunch of guys who jack off the Marjorie Taylor Greene will say they're based because they're searching for Coney. That's awesome.
Iran was to open a dam earlier in the day. It was a big deal. It was right on the border with Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan's president came down to the border. They met at the border. They had a meeting after the inauguration of the dam. So this was a very big moment for the Iranians, particularly in their diplomacy within the region, but an important signal for Iranians as well. Here was the president inaugurating a new project to benefit the people of the country. But now, of course, it's turned to this intense speculation in the fog.
Okay. As much as as much as all of my haters say I am Mr. America bad and Mr. America is involved in all of these affairs, and the timing of this lends itself so perfectly to America being involved in this affair as well. I'm looking at the fog and I'm looking at a helicopter that is flying through a mountainous region with this much fog. And I'm thinking probably this one might not be on the United States of America or Mossad or Israel, and seems a bit like like I said, it seems like a bit self-inflicted. Like, that's crazy. You sound compromised? Bro, oh my Lord, you're fucking nutty, okay?
In the cold weather, some limited contact with some people who were on the ground, who were in the same helicopter as the president, but still not able to fix the location. And as best we know, not able even to get there.
That's crazy, bro. Look at how fucking foggy that shit is. Y'all are insane if you think this is like... Anyway, like I said, I don't know. But sometimes when I look at stuff like this and I see like one glaringly obvious thing that is just like hitting me directly in the fucking face. This is an area where fog is quite normal. It hangs quite low. Helicopter pilots are being taught how to fly over it. They knew it was basically fog and then ... free targeting. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Iranian officials detect the exact location of Raisi's helicopter crash site as an hour ago. It's nearly midnight in the frigid mountains where the Iranian president's helicopter crashed. It's now past 11:30 p.m. local time in the remote mountainous region where the Iranian president's helicopter crashed this afternoon. It has been approximately 10 hours since the authorities lost contact with President Ebrahim Raisi's helicopter in the country's East Azerbaijan province, where dense fog hindered search efforts during the day. Iran's semi-official Tasnim news agency warned that extreme cold would only hinder the search further as the night fell. The overnight low temperature in the nearest city of Tabriz will be in the low 50s on Sunday. It's difficult to obtain precise weather data from the remote mountains where the crash took place, but temperatures there will dip closer to freezing, according to CNN meteorologists. Iranian officials say how is there fog in the middle of the summer? Bro, what do you mean? Do you think that this is a fake fog? Like, do you think that a fog gun made the fog in the mountains of Iran? Have you been to a mountain? I hate, personally, absolutely hate nature. Okay? I am not fond of nature at all. Famously so. And even I know, mountains get fucking foggy, man. It's kind of funny because we were just talking about Los Angeles and how foggy LA gets. It's called the June gloom in the mornings. And LA is like dry too in comparison to, I suspect, what Iran's weather looks like, especially in that region. President Raisi active on Discord right now, so I think he's fine just ghosting. Says he's listening to Lunch by Billie Eilish as well. Congratulations. He's just jamming out to the new Billie Eilish. Iranian officials say they have located the exact crash site and are sending teams there. Earlier, authorities managed to make contact with two people who had been aboard the aircraft, according to a government spokesperson. Turkey says it will send night vision rescue helicopter to aid Iran in its search. No! Don't do it! What? More helicopters? What is happening? What the fuck? They're like, hey, did a helicopter crash happen? You know what would fix the situation? You're literally a grifter if you think this isn't Mossad or the CIA. I guess I am a grifter for saying we don't know enough yet. I like to look at all of the likely scenarios, and in a situation Who would have thought that my fucking helicopter stunlock would have reared its ugly head once again, by the way? I certainly didn't. I certainly did not think that we would be having another helicopter stunlock. That is a famous one that chatters who are uninitiated probably are oblivious to. One time I had like a fucking 5-hour stunlock on how helicopters are unimaginably dangerous. Unimaginably. I have roughly 5,000. Wait, what? No, you don't. Shut up. It's just like chatters love being fake experts all the goddamn time. Okay. No, I'm not even entertaining your dumb shit. I asked you if helicopters are safe like 4 times this week during stunlocks. I know. Where was MHUD? Where was MHUD? That's the real question. I remember you asking me yesterday about about helicopters. The helicopter stunlock was only like 90 minutes. We all just misremember. Bring in the resident aero expert, Murat. Dude, Murat doesn't know shit about helicopters. Let's be real. I'm from Tabriz and have been to Aras Baran, the forest the heli has crashed in. It is extremely remote next to Varzegan City. I wish we could actually ask the real helicopter expert, Billiam Burr. He has thousands of flight hours. Hamas voices great concern over Iranian president's helicopter crash. Details about the crash are still murky, and Hamas expressed solidarity towards the president and the brotherly Iranian people. Yes, I remember. It broke my brain. Now every time someone mentions anything about helicopters, I think of them being unsafe. Yeah, I mean, good. That's not a bad thing. Unlike any time I say at the top of you think of the top of the hour ad break, which is a bad way to condition people. Being afraid of helicopters is healthy and good. That's a good way to condition people. However, the top of the hour ad break still comes regardless at the top of the hour. Yeah, Pavlovian torture it is. Son hasn't seen Wag the Dog. They can make anything look however the fuck they want. That whole video can be constructed using AI. Dude, that is not a healthy way to approach the world. I'm going to be honest with you. Bro, chill. Someone just died. Read the room. Yeah, okay. He's the fucking Iranian president. I think I'm going to spare my tears on this one. I don't give a shit. Like, I do care about like what this means for Iranian politics, regional stability, things of that nature. But as far as I understand, the president is like, it's a relatively symbolic position in comparison to like the Ayatollah. So he's also still not confirmed dead, but I will admit, it's I'll just say it like this. It would be shocking. Yeah, it would be shocking if he survived. It won't be shocking if you are subscribed, however, and you will survive the top of the hour ad break, definitely, for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Hasan, look at the past few years, exact same situation with the Polish presidential plane in Smolensk. Polish president forced them to land in fog, lol. I believe not even 10 years past, just fog, but conspiracy theories from the right are still well and alive here. Maybe he had an emergency parachute? Yeah, dude. When your helicopter is fucking crashing, the thing you definitely can do is jump out of it with a parachute. I feel like you would literally get chopped off faster if you tried to do that, right? Like it would cut your fucking head off. If he survives, maybe Islam is right. Oh, for sure. If he survives, fuck it, dude. We're all Shia. Okay? Fuck it. The lineage did continue. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his lineage did continue, and the Shia were correct. And we should all have little ayatollahs running the country. We should be giving the mullahs the keys of the castle everywhere. He's a massive piece of shit, by the way. Yeah, no shit. Wow. A dude who was the president of Iran was a bad guy. No. Breaking news. Guys, what? No way. That's a shocking, I would say, shocking revelation for me. What does his death mean? Not that much, I don't think. I mean, unless like this is somehow linked back to like Israel or America, which is, I doubt it. Beyond that, it's just like, who cares? I know you don't do a lot of AFPOL a lot, but I also know you love a coup. We doing this today? No. I said no earlier, even though this is pretty funny. Want to point out this coup is happening as DRC is pushing an international court case against Apple for hiring Merc/proxies to invade DRC, steal resources, and then sell them in Rwanda on the global market. Empire is very unhappy with what Africa is doing to protect itself. The Democratic Republic of Congo's armed forces repelled an attempted coup d'etat involving Congolese and foreign fighters on Sunday morning. A DRC army spokesperson said in a televised address, oh no, as they announced the arrest of American mercenaries. I mean, I don't really know what the fuck's going on here. I have to look into it a little bit further, but oops. Let me tell you. Hatamoto, Anjin Sama, white boy swag. American mercenary with an American passport and in the DRC, not white boy swag. That's my take. Also, Chris Murphy killing himself right now. I just gotta point out something here, okay? If anything, if it's true that it was American mercenaries that got caught, okay? Especially when paired up with the failed Bay of Pigs, Venezuela edition that happened only a couple years prior. How can you live in the same planet where you think the CIA is capable of doing like fog machine weapons and assassinating Iranian president, the Iranian president in a helicopter crash, while simultaneously you watch America fail to do coups literally all the time now? Like how is the CIA simultaneously so unimaginably powerful that they're out here like literally setting up fog machines and shit and like assassinating foreign leaders of foreign adversaries in the midst of like the most significant geopolitical conflict in this region? Like historically, the tensions are high. Okay? While simultaneously, they were able to pull that shit off, but they can't even fucking coup Venezuela without getting owned by fishermen. They're taking L's left and right. They're taking L's so publicly that like half of these African countries are like aligning with pedophile Nazis that are going in and being like, yeah, we'll take the gold, like we'll extract your natural resources and we'll defend you against the American empire. And they're like, yeah, sure, that seems like a good idea to me. And they're like fucking aligning with like Wagner and Russia and shit. Like they're just getting murked left and right. Is there a difference between a coup and a revolution? Yes. CIA failure is on purpose. I don't know, man. Governor Hashem, who was flying with the president, got in touch. I don't know if this is correct or not. I hate these fucking accounts. Anti-woke, anti-hypocrisy, anti-fake news. Like, okay, man, thanks. Like, I think I'll just wait. I'll wait for more information from like reliable outlets instead of fucking like Lord Bebo or whatever. Khamenei says, we hope Almighty God will return the respected, esteemed president and his entourage to the arms of the nation. To which Israel War Room replies, you should get in a helicopter and go look for him. Get off Twitter and do something productive. Which, I hate to admit it, is kind of the funniest that dumbass account has ever been, honestly. Like, it's just like, normally I can't ever fathom giving one to the fucking Israel War Room account that is like, that spends most of his goddamn time posting like AI images about how like Israel is like a sexy lion draped in the Israeli flag or whatever. But now they got one. Fucking sucks. But I don't know. People are sending me this this international journalist's assessment on the situation. Observations regarding the Raisi chopper crash. I've been in the area a few times. It's remote, sparsely populated. Takes a bit to get there by vehicle, only in good weather. It's where twin earthquakes hit in 2011. Temperatures can be pretty cold overnight, even in the summer. Only a certain sector of Iranian society will mourn Raisi. He is not popular within the establishment or without. No one will forget that he signed off on hundreds of death warrants for jailed dissidents in a mass campaign of killings after the revolution. Or that the crackdown on woman life freedom occurred under his presidency. Many are celebrating his possible demise. Even when Ahmadinejad's helicopter suffered an incident, people weren't so quick to cheer. His rise as the president was engineered by the establishment. He is the SL's choice. His background in Mashhad and the role of his father-in-law also played a part in stoking rise against Rouhani fuel prices in 2017. Is he supposed to be the SL's successor? Possibly, although in the scheme of clerical hierarchy, he is mid-ranking and lacks the credentials which many, especially in Qom, might expect. Yeah, I mean, he's mid. He's not even, bro, he hasn't even boosted his Islam points, okay? Like, he's not credentialed enough, dude. He needs to get back to work. Keep reading. Well, maybe not anymore. Yeah, not enough faith points. He was a Dex build, it seems. He didn't do a Dex faith dual build, which would have probably saved him in this situation. He won the last election with over 70% of the vote, though. Oh, come on, dude. Like, really? This is what... Yeah, Vladimir Putin won the election with 90%. The fuck? Like, different countries have different processes, okay? No different than the 95% Crimea referendum. No, that actually is different. Like, unironically, because at least there's, like, precedents that you can point to from, like, Western polling before the fucking Crimea referendum. That's the reason why I didn't talk about that and instead talked about Vladimir Putin's last election performance. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Come on now. Does that matter? Not really. He is pliant and is seen as someone who, like Khomeini, will allow the IRGC to continue to run the economy in exchange for critical backing, as he lacks the ability, charisma, clerical status to centralize power in an individual. Hossein Abur Abdullahian is also missing. Despite what many have portrayed, he is no radical. He has long held the confidence of the establishment as evidenced by his handling of the Arab Africa FP foreign policy portfolio for more than a decade. He was always professional and polite. He might be described as a true establishment man, a loyal supporter of the system. Correct. He has good ties to the IRGC too, as you might expect given his portfolio before he became the foreign minister. Also, a note of interest. Wait, the foreign minister and the president were on the same helicopter? Are these guys fucking on crack? What are they doing in Iran? Wait a minute. Isn't that literally like OPSEC rule number one? Well, OPSEC rule number one should be don't fucking fly a helicopter through a mountainous region in dense fog. That's number one. Number two is do not put important figures in the same goddamn helicopter. What the fuck? What are they doing? They're besties. They can't be separated. It's just insane. Even America has America's the most powerful nation on the planet. During the State of the Union, you still have one fucking dude who's not there. You know what I mean? Who's like, I will be the head of state if they fucking nuke the Capitol, I thought it was don't get in a helicopter. Yes, it is definitely don't get in a helicopter. Definitely don't get in a helicopter when there's dense fog in a mountainous region. And last but not least, don't get in a helicopter in a dense mountainous region with a shit ton of fog where you have more than one head of state in the helicopter. What the fuck are you doing? So you just want them to get in separate helicopters, but that's so bad for the environment. I just don't understand it at all. This begs a question regarding the future of the IRI and succession. Was he supposed to be Khomeini's successor? Likely, but in event of Raisi's demise, it's not a critical crisis. There are swaths of like-minded possibilities. The issue in the internal crisis of elites and their ability to fall in line and unite behind someone. I will add the prevailing sentiment is fear of a crisis of the unknown. For all of its faults, Iran is not a country racked by instability or security issues. Order is a constant, even with the protests every few years. Iranians are used to this order and stability despite its form. I genuinely, they were separate helis anyways. It don't make sense in a convoy. Has Bill Burr made a statement on this? I don't think so. I just want to point out it's Khomeini. Khomeini was a previous leader. I know I said Khomeini. Did I not? Will you accept your new position of an honorary Shah of People's Republic of Iran? Yeah, sure. I'm going to make Iran gay as fuck, dude. I'm going to make Iran the gayest country on the planet. Homo communism. They're definitely dead, right? No shot they survived. Yeah, I don't think you can survive a helicopter crash, but what do I know? And no, I would instead instead of taking on the position in the People's Republic of Iran, I would probably put someone that is ready to take on the mantle. You guys already know who I'm going to say. Patrick Bet-David. Oh my God. I had to say it. Someone is going to survive this crash and this will become the new JDAM or some shit. No, because I'm not actually like speaking against State Department propaganda in this situation. So no, it won't become the next thing. If I was like literally being like, this is definitely the CIA or some shit, then yes. And then it came out that it wasn't, then yes, that would be the next thing that people move on to. But I'm not saying that at all. Also, Israel did Pam al-Ahli. What the fuck is the new JDAM? You were right. I know. It's so funny. I'm from top. It is that region has a lot of brown bears, gray wolves, leopards, and hyenas. Leopards and hyenas? The fuck? There's hyenas in Iran? What is happening? It's very dangerous in the Araz Baran forest, and it's also very cold and foggy. Like I said, if he's alive, okay, which, you know, not very likely. But if he was alive, I would literally, dude, Shia Islam is the light. You know what I mean? Like, I forget what the deal is between the Sunnis and the Shias, you know, and the fucking theological reasoning as to why like there's this big thing. I stole your jokes and used them on my date last night. They were a massive hit. Thank you, King. Hell yeah, dude. Shias edit the Quran. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I will edit the Quran myself personally if he fucking survived this shit. I'm gonna be honest with you.
The region, particularly from close regional allies.
Here, let's see what Al Jazeera is saying.
I'm thinking, of course, of Hezbollah. I'm thinking of Hamas. I'm
thinking
of proxies in Yemen and Syria. Is this a reminder, perhaps, of how fragile key relations are between Iran and other regional players?
Well, look, I mean, what happened over the past 3-4 decades is those relations improved vastly or were more or less maintained the same. But we didn't really see much of a reverse in those relationships. In other words, Iran has continuously expanded its influence at the expense of its Arab neighbors. It wanted to establish itself as a regional power, and it took advantage of a number of elements. And it's very important to underline that, because it's not just sort of a brilliance or creativity of the regime. The regime was also very lucky over the past four decades. I've spoken to you earlier about why it did maintain its stability and why it has been resilient. But once again, it has been lucky. On the one hand, it was American destruction of Iraq, which is sort of Iran's foremost nemesis that allowed Iran to expand further. Israel's expansionists' genocidal policies in Palestine and beyond, including its invasion of Lebanon, also gave Iran an opportunity to expand its influence. The counter-revolution in the Arab world over the past dozen years gave a huge opening for Iran to expand its influence from Yemen to Syria and elsewhere in the region. So all in all, American hypocrisy and double standards, Western hypocrisy, Israeli intransigence and aggression, Arab impotence, and all of that gave Iran the possibility, the capacity to expand its influence in the region and to continue to build its nuclear program and expand its relationship with Russia and China, regardless of the situation domestically, the poor economy, and the sort of lack of popularity, especially among the urban elites.
Right. Marwan, many thanks as always. Marwan Bashar were there in Paris. Well, reactions to the helicopter crash are pouring in from countries in the Middle East and across the world. Saudi Arabia has expressed deep concern and has offered Iran any assistance it needs. The European Commission said
okay, bro, sure.
Service to aid the search for President Raisi's aircraft. That's following a request from Iran. And Russia's foreign ministry has said it is ready to extend all necessary help that Iran requires and to aid it in an investigation of the reasons behind the crash. And
Shia believe that Ali should have been the first caliphate, and Sunni believe Abu Bakr should have been the first caliphate. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sure.
Following developments from Washington, D.C., she joins us live. Heidi, a somewhat muted response from the U.S.
Muted and restrained is how I would describe it, Neve, because as you said, we have a statement from Biden's spokeswoman saying that he has been briefed, but there were no other details given. He is on a busy campaign day on this schedule. From the U.S. State Department, we're told that officials are closely following the reports of this crash. Now, there has been no effort to speculate from U.S. officials or add on any comment to this. Obviously, the U.S. and Iran have not had direct diplomatic relations since 1979, and any sort of information sharing would happen through an intermediary. So we would expect a delay in that information being communicated. And you know, this is something that's happening in a very contentious time in U.S.-Iran relations. It was just last week that officials from both countries met through intermediaries in Oman to discuss containment of the Israel-Gaza war. Then, of course, there are the U.S. sanctions that Iran says has crippled its economy. And, of course, the outstanding Iran nuclear deal that's been fits and starts in trying to restart negotiation, now appearing to fall off the table. So given all of that volatile context and these pressing issues, U.S. officials are again using restraint and not commenting further on this until there is more information about President Raisi's fate.
We can hear you farting through the mic. Do you think I'm a fucking robot, bro? You think I'm farting like a? You think that's what my fart sounds like? Bzzz, like that? That'd be crazy if that's what my ass produced. Okay. I wish I farted like that. I could hide it all the time.
The UK not commenting at all so far, either Downing Street or the Foreign Office, the British Foreign Ministry we've reached out to for comment, nothing publicly from them so far. The European Commission, which is the executive branch of the European Union.
No, his death, as far as I understand, would not cause a huge power vacuum, it seems.
And the individual focused on crisis management there has tweeted about 4 hours ago that there is the request from Iran for emergency satellite mapping. They have a system called Copernicus that essentially allows them to monitor in real time changes to what satellite imagery can see on the Earth's surface. And they say they're using that to try and help identify the location.
Why are the Israeli officials saying they know the prime minister died without Iranian confirmation? Because he was in a helicopter that crashed in this kind of condition. It's, you know, I would say it's a fairly reasonable assessment to make in this situation. A helicopter that crashed over 10 hours ago at this point, too. Also, it's Israel. They take pot shots on both sides. I'm sure. I don't know anything. I haven't seen any Israeli comms on this. But even without seeing it, I can tell you that there is at least one Israeli head of state that immediately probably chirped in and was like, it's because the Iranian people hate their leaders. That's why they assassinated him. It's just trying to take advantage of a situation and cause additional political instability and talk shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything.
And certainly it's going to be tough for them to have elections in which the population actually participates. The participation rate in the parliamentary elections just...
You think Putin is freaking out? Fuck no. Putin is not freaking out. You want to know why? Because that motherfucker's not getting in a helicopter, bro. He has his own goddamn train. Like, so we are assuming it's not the CIA or Mossad. I doubt it, but who knows? But I doubt it. Israel said they weren't involved like 10 minutes after the news emerged. Yeah.
Evidence, suspicion that there was some foul play involved here that had something to do with rivals for that position being involved.
Is it possible to say precisely how much President Raisi personally influenced and steered both domestic and foreign policy?
I think it's quite interesting to see that at the end of the day, I don't think he has been a particularly impactful president. And I don't think there's going to be any particular
everyone's talking shit about this guy, bro. I feel kind of bad. Like, At first, I didn't give a shit, but now I feel kind of bad, bro. They're all flexing on. They're literally like, he's mid. Nobody really likes him. Nobody gives a shit. You know, like either people are like excited that he died because fuck him, or people just like otherwise don't really care, and someone will easily replace him.
Raisi has been behind any particular decision. So in that sense, his impact is less because of the role he played as president, but much more so in terms of what I just mentioned, future elections, as well as a succession to the supreme leadership position.
I want to reflect on public sentiment there in Iran, if possible, because if the scenes are to be believed, large numbers of people have been gathering for prayer ceremonies, particularly in the city of Mashhad, where Ebrahim Raisi was from. How spontaneous do you think these shows of concern, sympathy, worry for Ebrahim Raisi are amongst Iranians?
Well, I think there's certain pockets in the society that certainly do support Raisi and the government as a whole. But Iran is a very, very divided country.
You made thousands of leftists like you faced the wall back in the day, by the way. Don't feel bad. Bro, I don't think I would feel bad for... Like, there are very few heads of state that if they died, I would feel bad about. Like, there's a fucking handful. I would say, like, Lula. You know what I mean? There are very few. There are very few politicians that I would genuinely fucking feel bad if they died. Xi Jinping, my goat. No, I'm kidding.
About the extent to which Raisi
Donald
has
Trump.
projected...
Donald Trump, I'd feel bad if he died. That's my goat. You know. When Kim Jong-un dies, you will fall to your knees in Walmart. Yeah, I can't even think. Oh, God, don't even say it. Dude, don't even say it. I'd be devastated if the leader of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea died.
Sanctions, for instance.
Certainly, I think what we've seen under the Raisi years is an abandonment of the approach of thinking that there actually is a way for the West and Iran to get along, and that
Lake, what are you doing?
The West is capable of providing sustained sanctions relief. Instead, the strategy has shifted towards strengthening relations, not just with Eastern powers such as Russia and China and global South powers in Latin America, but very much so with regional neighbors. And we've seen the opening to Saudi Arabia and other areas in which Iran has improved its relations with its neighbors. But again, whether Raisi has been a strong driving force of that is a different question. He's clearly been in support of it.
What if it's fake? Why?
Without him on the scene, that process.
Like, if this was a psyop, why would they do that? It's not like he's that significant. Why would they fucking... Why would they like do a secret death thing, like, to hide him? He's not like a... You know, he's not that important.
Missing. Plus...
Like, as far as I understand, the Iranian leader, the Iranian general that was assassinated by America was way more significant of a figure in Iran. You know, both many haters of him and also many lovers of him as well. In comparison to this guy who everyone is just fucking flexing on his corpse, even though we don't even know if he's dead. He most likely is. Yeah, Qasem Soleimani was very popular. Both, you know, a lot of people hated him and a lot of people loved him as well. Soleimani, let me tell you, as a Iraqi, that was one of the best days of my life. You've never faked your death to see who your true friends were? Oh, that's a good one. I think that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. Oh my God, President Raisi. He did it. He did this to himself so that he could know like who his real friends are. He's like, oh, I heard all of you guys. I heard what you had to say about me when you thought that I died in a helicopter crash. You were calling me mid. Like, not a single fucking tear was shed. It's pretty messed up. It's pretty fucked up. Dude, imagine you put this elaborate scheme together and you're like, oh, bro, they are going to say so many nice things about me. Oh my God, everyone is going to say, Rest in peace, Raisi. And then, bro, what the fuck? Everyone said I am mid. Yeah. I'm awaiting a Facebook status coming out. I'm awaiting a Facebook status coming out being like, the real ones failed me today. He's just going to stay in the mountains. The president of Iran won't see your helicopter jokes, but your friends who died in helicopter crashes will. True. Well, they won't either because they're dead. If you faked your death and everyone called you mid, would you even come back? Fuck no. I'm staying in the motherfucking mountains, dude. I'm befriending the bears and the gray wolves and the apparently hyenas or whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's Jover. It's fucking Jover, dude. All right.